Economic tsunami. Everything is rotten to the core, and it will collapse under its own weight. Financial wars and kinetic wars are all escalating together in an East versus West showdown for control of future human civilization. Let's rejoice, because the absurd insanity we are experiencing is forcing more and more people to awaken. However, we must have compassion for those who are incapable of awakening, because the injections have created a separation from the individual soul. The only way out of the matrix is absolute non-compliance. The CBDCs will make it impossible to function in the system. I'm not interested in survival, which leads to inevitable death. I choose to live at all costs. I'm absolutely certain that the courageous ones must choose to get out of the matrix completely by November 2023. Please view the many videos I created on the time wave spirals. I was blessed because my jail experience forced me to leave Canada and what appeared to be a perfect life as a very successful dentist and mother of 2 wonderful children. One needs great courage to jump into the complete unknown, but it is an absolute necessity in this evolutionary crisis. Today, I'm in a position to assist individuals who choose life. Just 2 kilometers from our farm, I discovered a small development. One can purchase a lot of 1,000 meters square and a 3-bedroom house for $60,000 US at today's rate of exchange. While your home is under construction, you can start developing the agriculture of sacha inchi nut, avocados, pineapple, yucca, papaya, bananas, citrus fruit, and a vegetable garden. One can raise chickens and other small animals. A long-term stay at Cascata Cafe Retiro is $300 US per month. I also offer dentistry, including complex full-mouth reconstruction at a cost of 35% of European and North American prices. The global prison planet is being dismantled, and we have the honor of witnessing this. I conclude by encouraging you to continue your inner evolution despite the current world scenario, which can seem worrying when we forget that the divine is behind everything and that the supramental world is at our doorstep. Please share my videos. Infinite love. As the US dollar is collapsing in value due to mad money printing, Russia, China, Iran, and other countries are finalizing their plans for a gold-backed crypto stablecoin that they will use for international trade, ditching the dollar entirely. The purchasing power of the US dollar has fallen sharply over the last century due to rising inflation and money supply. The US money supply grew by 3.8 trillion in 2020, equal to 20% of all dollars ever created. Of course, the debt ceiling was once again suspended until first quarter of 2025. The debt is presently just under 32 trillion. This chart shows the rise of America's debt ceiling. In 2008, the debt started to grow faster than GDP, gross domestic product. This is a typical exponential growth chart. George Gammon explains why the US debt is going to 100 trillion soon. In 2008, they printed almost 4 trillion in 3 years. During COVID, they printed 10 trillion in 3 years. It is safe to assume that in the next crisis, which is being continually advertised, they will print at least 15 trillion in 3 years. The curve is exponential, and the system is in severe hyperinflation. By 2028, the exponential curve is no longer a curve. It goes straight up, reaching 100 trillion and past it to infinity. The days of global dollar hegemony are fast drawing to an end. The United States of America has weaponized the dollar and used it as a bludgeon against Russia. No rational world nation will continue to use the dollar for international trade. The dollar will be abandoned over time, and then it will collapse to a value of approximately zero. On top of severe hyperinflation, we are already facing a commercial real estate crash worse than the 2008 crisis. Borrowers have vast amount of debt to refinance, with nearly 1.5 trillion of US commercial real estate debt coming due over the next 3 years. Here's a chart of all the commercial real estate loans for all commercial banks in 2023 as compared to the great financial crisis of 2008. Finally, this chart is a chart of house prices as compared to rentals over 4 centuries. This chart shows that during the lockdowns, the home buyer demand went straight up to its highest level ever. In 2022, it started collapsing, and it is now at the 2008 housing crash level. This is a chart of the debt-to-income ratios. Mortgage defaults, forced sales, and foreclosures are coming. We're starting to see economic implosion. At least 70 major bankruptcies of US companies occurred during the first quarter of 2023. Let us keep our faith ardent and an unfailing sincerity in these times of irremediable dissolution of the illusion and of our ego. We must choose our soul at all cost. This leaves us, those awakening, those that are being targeted by the masses in the hypnosis of mass hysteria, to be strong, immovable, and totally steadfast in the face of this onslaught, which is going to become way beyond even the hysteria which is building now. We must not accept the jab under any circumstances, because we must maintain our connection to our unique, human, individualized soul. We need a critical mass of individuals in action, continuously raising their level of consciousness to the point of reversal. I talked about the reversal of consciousness in my video, I Surrender to My Soul. Please consider listening to that video in its entirety. Infinite love.